My name is Madison Barra, and welcome to my podcast, where it's all about teaching you how to lose weight, keep it off, and actually enjoy the process. I've lost over 70 pounds, and these are the failures and lessons I've learned along the way. Hope you enjoy and subscribe. So today I would like to talk about what I think is the closest that humans will ever get to having a superpower. And this superpower is what we all know as intuition. And when I hear the word superpower, I think of the X-Men, I think of the Justice League. You know, people can go invisible, people can move objects with their mind, walk through walls. But I honestly think your intuition, if we can hone it properly, is literally your superpower. And the only thing that can get you close to a superpower and really, really in touch with you and the world around you. So I want to talk about this superpower today, how you can hone it in and how it can be beneficial to actually not just help you lose weight, but help you keep weight off long terms and really be the healthiest version of you, right? Because, you know, weight loss is great, but we want to make sure we're of course healthy along the way and after the fact. So your superpower, your intuition. When we get unhealthy, when we gain weight, when we don't make time for ourselves, when we let people step over us, when we get stressed, when we deal with anxiety, when life gets crazy and we have an unclear mind, that's when we lose our superpower. That is when our intuition is clouded. That is when we can't understand or connect with our gut anymore. You know that gut feeling? Have you ever had that moment where your gut told you something like this didn't feel right, or this felt really right and you should go for it and take the leap? Have you ever had that gut feeling? You know what I'm talking about. Your gut has led you in amazing directions or saved you from going in the wrong direction. So if we are unhealthy, if we have excess adipose tissue on our body, visceral fat, if it is there, our intuition is weakened or non-existent, right? Maybe we don't have those gut feelings anymore. Maybe our intuition isn't as strong as it used to be, or maybe we don't even connect with it. We don't even know that it's there. So if you have any type of excess adipose tissue on you, whether you've got handfuls, which is where I started before I lost my 80 pounds, or you just have a little pinch of excess adipose tissue, it's impeding your superpower. It really is making you weaker than you need to be. And I wanted to share this story of how I'm slowly becoming more in touch with this superpower. Like, I truly, truly believe that this is like a game changer. And over my years, once I lost my 80 pounds and I started to get healthier and healthier, and my habits were sticking and my mental health was growing and all of these things changed, I started to hear my intuition. Like, my intuition became louder, like it was talking to me, and I started to not second guess it. And I started to just act in accordance with it when it comes. So mine, as I've gotten healthier, has actually become stronger. I'm still nowhere where I'd like to be. It's very, very cool. And the reason I want to talk about this today is because I'm in the midst of this discovery too with you. But I want to share a kind of a story with you of my superpower and kind of how it's been progressing. So I recently joined this little entrepreneur group, so for business owners in the community, and it's like this little free office space, and they do community meetings and entrepreneur meetings where we get to share our wins, kind of like the Fit Queen community with weight loss, same idea, but for businesses. And there was this person that joined one day, and I was listening to them speak, and I kind of had this repulsion to them. And I didn't really like them. I didn't hate them. And I was telling myself, don't judge them because you don't know them. This is the first time you're meeting them. But I just, when you meet someone and you're like, okay, I'm not really vibing with that energy. So instantly when this person was talking, I wasn't vibing with their energy, right? And now, of course, I wasn't disrespectful. I wasn't rude. I didn't walk out of the room and say, I hate you. I was just listening to the conversation and being present, just noting how I was feeling. And kind of after the fact, I was kind of sitting with these emotions, like, why did I feel this way? Because it was quite a strong reaction. And I was sitting with myself, and I could only think of like two things, right? Number one, perhaps I'm threatened by her success, and maybe that's why I was, because maybe she brought out insecurity in me, and that's why I didn't like her. Or on the other hand, maybe I actually don't like her because my body and my mind is sent, and my cells are sensing something about her ego or her energy that's not good for me right now. So anyway, I didn't really think too much of it. I didn't analyze it too much because I'm like, whatever, I'm barely going to see this woman. You know, if I have to deal with it, I'll deal with it, but I'll put this in my box and I'll pull this out later if I need to. And then, you know, a couple weeks gone by after the holidays passed, and I was still showing up to these meetings and she was still there. And I brought my husband along with me to one of these meetings just to chime in and you know, kind of see what it was all about. And once we were done the meeting, and I didn't tell him this, I didn't tell him anything about this woman, he had the exact same reaction. He had the exact same reaction about her. You know, he's like, you know, she was just off, right? And I was like, oh my goodness, okay, thank you. I wasn't the only one that felt it. And it's funny because it's not like she was this bad person or did anything wrong. Okay, it's not. It's just an instant reaction I had to her, and I didn't know why. And I pride myself on not judging a book by its cover immediately, right? Although we do prejudge, I try to catch myself in the judgment and then unpack it, so it's not true, or I give somebody another chance, kind of thing. But so my husband Ryan, he's like, no, I'm feeling this person's off. And I'm like, oh my goodness, thank you. You see it too. I'm like, what is it? Is it me being threatened because she's successful? Or is it me not liking her energy? And he's like, you know what? I got the sense that she was pretty egotistical and she liked to brag and she liked to play the power game. And I'm like, my instincts told me that from just a couple sentences. Now, because I'm not super in tune with my intuition and my gut feelings, I didn't understand what they were trying to tell me, but I knew they were there. And how cool is that? That is how powerful the superpower is. It can tell you without you even understanding yet. It can tell you. And imagine if we were in tune with it, how we could use it, how it would save us, how it could guide us and drive us through life. That was really cool. And that really, really, really solidified the fact that, okay, I've done the work, I've trusted myself, and now my intuition is actually becoming loud where I can notice it and hear it. Don't understand it just yet, but it's talking to me and it's telling me things. And it's just so cool to me, right? Because now I'm not crazy. I'm not judging anybody. I actually interpreted it the same as somebody else without telling my husband. And it's funny because I'm come from a place where I wasn't super in tune with my intuition. Like, you kind of turn off that gut feeling, or you don't listen to it very often, so it stops being so strong. And what ends up happening is when you do feel it, even faintly, and maybe you can relate to this, we almost gaslight our own intuition, right? We're like, what am I feeling? This isn't right. This is wrong, right? What is this telling me? So we actually think that naturally what we're feeling is not natural. We think it's unnatural, and we try to steer away from our intuition because that's kind of what we've been doing. So I would encourage you, you know, have you been gaslighting your intuition? Have other people been gaslighting your intuition? When you feel something, do you question it? Do you make yourself feel guilty for feeling something? Do you have trouble understanding why you feel things or where these feelings come from? Do you have difficulty even recognizing when you feel changes and blips in the change of emotions, right? Because a lot of people will gaslight your intuition too, right? Because how many times when you've tried to lose weight, how many times has people tried to interrupt you when you knew in your gut that you have to lose this weight, that this time has to be different, that you don't have any other option, you need to get healthy and lose the weight? But then, you know, maybe your relatives will say, oh, please stop, don't lose any more weight, right? Don't lose any weight. What are you talking about? You don't need to lose weight, you're beautiful, right? When really they should be supporting you and encouraging you if that's what you want. Some people will they will try to sabotage you, right? Just one bite won't hurt. Just one drink won't hurt. Start again tomorrow. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Reward yourself, right? People will gaslight your intuition, right? You ever wonder why you feel guilty after you eat badly, after you fall off your diet, after you skip a workout? Why do you think you feel bad? It's because your body, your intuition is telling you, you are capable of more. You shouldn't have done that. Now, that's not a reason to spiral in the guilt and then beat yourself up about it. And then because you beat yourself up, you put yourself in a negative headspace, and then that negative headspace perpetuates bad decisions. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the reason you feel guilty is because it is a natural reaction to you not living up to your potential, knowing that you could achieve more. And it is your body saying that wasn't right, that wasn't healthy, you can do better. That's what that is. That guilt The guilt of, I should be doing it, but I'm not. I shouldn't have done that. I should have done this. Why did I eat that? What did I do? That guilt, we've all been there. I used to feel insane guilt after I had a big cheat meal and I went overboard, right? Because one bite, one cookie leads to 10 cookies, right? One glass of wine leads to the whole bottle. That's how I used to be. And I used to feel super guilty. And it was because it was just so unhealthy what I was doing. These habits and these impulses or lack of impulse control that I was doing, it was below me. It was below me. I am capable of more. And my intuition told me that in the form of guilt. So the next time you do feel guilty, be like, oh, listen to it. Don't avoid it, right? Don't swing to the opposite side and avoid it, but don't swing to the other side and sit in it. Just be like, oh, this is my intuition saying that I know that I'm better than this. My intuition is saying, don't go down this path. It's dangerous down this path. Listen to your gut feeling. Listen to the intense emotions that come in. Now, you don't have to act on the intense emotions because that's never a good idea. We want to listen to them and let them flow and sit with them. We become very uncomfortable with negative emotions. And because we feel that we're uncomfortable, we label them as negative emotions, when really there's no such thing as a negative emotion. An emotion is an emotion. You're allowed to feel it. It comes and goes. We label it negative because we don't want it, but we don't want it because we don't know how to master it and hone it and use it as a positive, spin it as a positive. That guilt can reassure you that you are on the right path because you knew you shouldn't be doing it. And knowing you shouldn't be doing something is the first step to even changing it. So when you do get that guilt, please sit and listen and sit with it. Why am I guilty? Oh, every cell in my body is telling me, do better. Do better. Just recognize that. And then you at least know what to do next, which is do better. And that can be vague, but do better looks like different from each person to person. So what does do 1% better look like for you? What does do slightly better look like for you? What would make you feel slightly less guilty? What would trigger the good intuition, the good feelings, the reassurance feelings in your cells and in your gut and in your mind and your heart? What would trigger the reassurance instead of the repulsion? That's kind of where you need to think in terms of, I don't know how to do better. What do you think would trigger those good butterfly, I'm proud of you, I'm calm feelings? That's how you can handle that guilt. That's how you can get closer to your intuition, right? So I just think it's so powerful because in my life, without knowing it, I've followed it and I can look back on it now and it has saved me. It saved me from dangerous situations. It had made me make awesome business decisions. It's helped me treat clients amazingly and make the right decisions for them. And it's just been my guide in life, right? You know, I was watching Pinocchio the other day, and one of the lines is, always let your conscience be your guide. Remember that song, Jiminy Cricket? Always let your conscience be your guide. That one? I won't sing again for you, don't worry. And it's just your conscience is your intuition. It is every cell in your body saying, this is your path. This is who you can be. Don't stray from this path, or don't put yourself in a position or make decisions that will make you stray from this path. There's literally a fire alarm in your body telling you where to go and when you're doing the wrong thing. It is that loud. It is a fire alarm. And let me tell you, in my house, I got the new fire alarms where they are like strobe lights on and off like a dance party. And this woman is yelling at me, fire, fire. Like, I got the crazy new upgraded fire alarms. That's what your intuition should be. That loud and obnoxious. So you cannot mistake it. Nobody can talk you out of it, and you follow it. And that is how you make healthy decisions in your weight loss and on your health journey. Your intuition is a whisper of the soul. It is your soul whispering to you what you should do, what will feed you, what will satisfy you, what will please you. It will tell you who to keep in your life and who to keep at a distance. It will tell you what habits are perpetuating that old version of you that we want to die, and what habits are pulling us towards the better version of ourselves. It will tell us what the right choice is. We feel it. You ever make a choice in your life where you had to think for a second because you didn't know which A or B, you didn't know what to do, but you sat with it and you felt that this was the right one? Something was pulling you towards, X, Y, and Z. That was your intuition. And when you hone it, guess what? It can turn on immediately, and then you can make that decision and you don't even think about it. That's how cool this can be. It's the difference between being on this journey for a long time for your big weight loss goal, or being on it shorter, because now once you're in tune with the intuition, you can make decisions faster. And that's what keeps people stuck. making the bad decision, making the wrong decision, the incorrect decision for them, or not knowing what decision to make, so not making a decision at all. But if our intuition can point us in the right direction, this feels right, this is what I should do, guess how quickly we get back on track? It's not an if you reach your goal, it's just a when you reach your goal. And all those negative feelings along the journey of I'm not worth it, of is this ever going to work? This is never going to work. I'm never going to reach my goal. I keep failing. What's wrong with me? All those negative emotions, they're just indicators. It's just your intuition piping up. So listen so it can be loud, so you can be connected with it. It's an amazing tool, and I'm so excited with where I'm at, because this year is going to be the year of listening to my intuition and really taking advantage of it and becoming one with it, where I am my intuition. The two aren't separate. I don't even need to listen to it anymore. I just know it and it tells me. And as it tells me, I already know. That's how cool this can be. And I really believe it helps people read minds or predict the future. As crazy as that sounds, that's how powerful this tool can be. And so please don't take advantage of, or please don't take, what do I say? Granted, don't take it for granted. There you go. Take advantage of it. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It will teach you things. It will make you feel like you're supposed to be, like who you're supposed to be. It's telling you when you veer off the path. It's your map. The intuition is your map through life. And if you've been confused and lost in your weight loss journey, your intuition is the map back. It's your map back on track. It will lead you to X marks the spot. I promise you. It's beautiful and it's untapped potential. So sit with yourself. When was the last time your intuition spoke to you? Was it recently? Was it a long time ago? Was it ever? And when do you think it will pop up next? Sometimes you'll feel it in good emotions, what we label as good. Sometimes you'll feel it in bad, what we label as bad. So sit down and kind of point out where it's most likely to show up for you. Does it show up when you overeat and you feel guilty? Does it show up when you've worked really hard all day and you can sleep better at night because you feel accomplished and your mind's not racing of all the things you should have done and need to do? Think about where your intuition has been guiding you or pulling you or trying to tell you something, but maybe we've been skipping it, not paying attention to it. Think about that. Sit with it. Find those things. The next time they happen, get in tune with your intuition. Listen to it. What could it possibly be telling you? And that's a game changer. If you found this podcast valuable, I hope you leave us a 5-star review. And if you want to learn more about the Fit Queen way of weight loss, visit www.fitqueen.com. Thank you for listening, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another episode.